All right, so your valve body here. Let's flip it over. Remember, you got the two bolts in there holding it together. This has actually already been cleaned and rebuilt. I always put these bolts in loosely just to hold the two together until I final torque it inside the transmission. So, just really quick, here's your 1-2 shift valve, your 2-3 shift valve, and your 3-4 shift valve. Now, the 2-3 here on the end, this is the one that likes to get hung up. So the first thing you want to do, if you take this out, let me see if I got an angle on here. Now yours won't look like this. Yours will be full of fluid, so you might want to let it drip out for a while so you can see it. Try not to smack it with a hammer because you're looking for a stuck valve. So if you start smacking it around, you may unstick that valve and then not know, have even less to go on. So normally, when this valve is stuck, it'll be stuck like this when you take it out. So you always want to look to make sure that the valve is all the way up, just like the one next to it, just like the 3-4, and that it moves freely. So if yours is stuck, you'll know right away that this is your problem. But maybe it unstuck itself when you took it out of the transmission, or maybe you forgot what I just said and you smacked this thing around a lot and knocked it loose. So another way to do is if you take like a I don't know what this is, 3/16 flathead maybe. If you put it in here, now this is how you can manipulate this valve. Mine moves really smoothly. You'll feel yours, if it's really rough, when it gets down here to this all the way compressed position. See, mine's very smooth. It's hard for me to show, but if yours is really rough when it gets down here, then it's probably been stuck or is going to be sticking soon. And check the 3-4 next to it. So if you a good comparison is the 3-4 probably almost never gets stuck. I'm not going to say never, but almost. It's very rare that gets stuck. So if you want a relative feel, use the 3-4 as a guide. Put your flathead in there and move it up and down and feel how smooth that is when it's fully compressed. You got to go fully compressed, because when this valve gets stuck, it's going to be stuck when the spring's fully compressed. It won't be stuck like halfway. It'll be like all the way down here. So you're going to want to, that's where you really want to feel it. And this one's pretty good. So that's a good check for that valve, even if you're just rebuilding a valve body. And like I said, if yours is stuck, they're easy to get out. You can use your pinky here to pop the retainer up. And there's going to be a spring right there, and then the rest of it comes right out. You can use any number of shape picks for this one, because it's got a lot of spots. Some other valves you need specific picks to get out. And then that'll be your valve. Now these valves, these are anodized valves. So what anodizing on aluminum is, it's a surface hardening. That's why they're gray. You can get black anodized, you can get any color you want, but they went with gray. So these are gray anodized valves. They're harder than the casting. Casting is just a regular old soft cast. So what happens is this valve's moving in and out here, it's going to start scraping. And the thing that's unique about the 2-3 is the pressure applied to it, which causes it to bend a little bit, and that's why it grinds into the bore there. There's a fix. If you have a stuck valve, you can try to ream it out or have it reamed out, but I wouldn't even bother with that. There's a I think it's Transgo sells a steel valve replacement. I've never used them, honestly. I have so many valve bodies, I just throw them away if they're compromised like that. Well, I don't throw them away. They're in a pile somewhere if I ever get around to wanting to fix them, or if I get desperate enough to want to fix them. But for the DIY guy, if you don't want to deal with any of that, you can just get the steel valve from I'm pretty sure it's Transgo, and I think it comes with it probably comes with another spring, because the valve would be heavier, so you're gonna have to deal with extra weight. And this one, to get it back in, it's real easy. You just saw me slide the valve in. This is already pre-lubed, so I might as well show you that. If you Yours will probably be oily, but there's transmission lube you can put on there. You can put Vaseline on there. You can put more transmission oil on there. So here's the valve with the blue goop on it, and just put that on there. It's going to slide right in, no problem. Again, like I said, this one's already been cleaned. And then you can push the valve all the way down with a pick or a screwdriver. Put the spring in. Now you're going to need a certain sized finger, or you can use it's probably a 5/16 screwdriver. Now there's a slot in these things, so if you orient your screwdriver so it's going to be parallel with the slot, because your screwdriver is going to go into this slot, and compress this spring down, and whatever you do, don't let it pop out. And then you can just put the retainer right on in, push it all the way in to the bottom with your screwdriver, get your pick, and just kind of line up the spring in there. And now everything's perfect. You can see the spring is centered in there, and we're good to go.